Good morning, everyone. I am Rogeline Hanabe, and today I am going to discuss about the standards in special education. Hello, dear classmates. Welcome to our online class. I hope you are ready as I am to start learning and have fun. We're in this together, so let's respect and support each other. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. By William Butler Yeats. So, what is special education? Special education is instruction that is specially designed to meet the unique needs of a child with a disability. This means education that is individually developed to address a specific child's needs that result from his or her disability. Since each child is unique, it is difficult to give an overall example of special education. It is individualized for each child. The standards in special education, schools have expectations what all students should know and be able to do while in school and after graduation. These are reflected in their vision, mission, and objectives. The teacher has also expectations what all her or his students should know and be able to do within her class or even moving to the next level. These expectations are aligned with the school's vision, mission, and objectives expressed through academic performance and behavior. Some students may be working at the pre-kindergarten grade level, other at the first, second, or third grade level. There may be students whose special education focuses primarily on speech and language development, cognitive development, or needs related to physical or learning disability. Special education for any student can consist of an individualized curriculum that is different from that of same age or non-disabled peers. For example, teaching a blind student to read and write using Braille. Braille is a form of written language for blind people in which characters are represented by patterns or raised dots that are felt with their fingertips. The same or general curriculum as that for non-disabled peers with adaptation or modifications made for the student. For example, teaching third grade math but including the use of counting tools and assistive technology for the student. It is also important to remember that the education, services, and supports outlined in a child's IED do not necessarily cover the child's entire education. The IED only addresses those educational needs resulting from the child's disability. If a child needs special education support throughout the school day for all activities, the IED will cover all these needs. If the child doesn't need special education support in one or more areas, for example, physical education, music, or science, then the IED will not include these subjects. The child assesses them through the general curriculum or class with no additional special education services. Adaptation and modifications. The individualization of instruction is an important part of special education. Instruction and schoolwork are tailored to the needs of the child. Sometimes a student may need to do changes made in classwork or routines because of his or her disability. Modifications can made to what a child is taught and or how a child work at school. Sometimes people get confused about what it means to have an accommodation. Usually, a modification means a change in what is being thought or expected from the student. Making an assignment easier so that student is not doing the same level of work as other students is an example of a modification. An accommodation is a change that helps a student overcome or work around the disability. Allowing student who has trouble writing to give his answers orally is an example of an accommodation. These students is still expected to know the same questions or fully as the other students, but he doesn't have to write his answers to show that he knows the information. Any questions? That's all for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you have learned something. So let's proceed to Miss Aldea.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Precious Aldea. Let us continue our topic about standards in special education. Anarchy. According to Harden, anarchy is the lowest level of social behavior in classrooms. Operating in this level are without social order or are in chaos. It is a situation where there is no law or order and anyone can do anything he or she wants without consideration of anyone else. Structure. When two or more people meet, whether at home or anywhere, greeting each other, talking in low voices, and trying to be nice to each other. Standards, rules, and procedures. Foundations of structure. Rules. Needed in all classrooms for smooth operation. Absolute. Do not change from day to day. Cannot be negotiated and have to be followed precisely. Can take form of instruction, direction, or principle. Create an environment that is predictable. In special education settings, rules are used to encourage appropriate behavior and prevent inappropriate behavior. They are usually used to apply to those activities and occurrences that are not governed by classroom and non-classroom procedures. Children get both extrinsic grades, points, free time, and intrinsic getting the correct answer, self-satisfaction, consequences when they follow rules. Children with special needs, especially those with autism spectrum disorder and attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder, need a predictable learning environment. The unpredictability of classroom events causes insecurity, discomfort, and anxiety among them. This can trigger hyperactivity, impulsivity, or stereotypic behaviors. Autism spectrum disorder refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. Attention deficit or hyperactivity disorders is one of the most common neurodevelopmental disorders of childhood. It is usually diagnosed in childhood and often lasts into adulthood. Children with ADHD may have trouble paying attention, controlling impulsive behaviors, or may act without thinking about what the result will be or be overly active. Rules may vary from one classroom to another, but no class can function smoothly without them. Teachers should use classroom rules to support learning rather than to catch students behaving inappropriately. Aside from rules, the smooth operation of the class depends on the accustomed ways of getting things done. These ways are called procedures. When procedures are mastered, they become routines. Whereas rules lay out the basic behavioral expectations, procedures specify the how-tos that show students step by step how to successfully follow the rules. They are limited to just one behavior and change according to need. They are directed at accomplishing something rather than discouraging the disruptive behavior. Examples of procedures are the ways of passing out and turning in materials, entering and leaving the room, and checking attendance. That's the end of our topic. Thank you for listening.